Jai Shri Mataji. Good morning, everyone. Let's bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put bandhan. Shri Ganesh Mantra.
Shri Nirmala
Let us bring our attention on Sahasrara and our left heart. Shri Mataji, by your grace, I am a pure spirit. Kindly come into our heart. Now let us bring our attention on our liver. Shri Mataji, kindly cool down our liver and bless us with pure attention. Kindly come into our attention. Let us gently massage our Sahasrara. And bring our hand back on the land. Shri Mataji, please give us the thoughtless awareness state. Let us listen to Shrimataji's speech.
But this collectivity is to be understood in its all dimensions in Sahaja Yoga. This is the second task of Sahaja Yoga, which is more difficult than the first one. To give realization is not at all difficult because it's a natural thing, it is within you, the time has come, the blossom time is there, you get realization without much difficulty. If not in one sitting, in second sitting you will get it, no doubt. But to establish you as a collective cell of the whole is a very difficult thing. And unless and until you are that, you are thrown out of the whole. If you don't become aware of it, you are just thrown out. Now, collectivity in Sahaja Yoga does not mean that you wear some kind of dresses, all of you wearing same kind of dresses, or doing the same type of thing, or jumping, or any such thing which has no sensible logic in it. It is the collectivity that you feel within yourself, that nearness you feel, not emotionally. Also, I would say, people think it's an emotional attachment to people. It's not emotionally also. It is beyond emotions, it is beyond thought, it is the spirit. Because everybody has got this spirit in them. Only thing you have to become the spirit. Now, anything you see, even we can say going to a temple. Now in India, ladies are busy dressing up if they have to go to temple. They'll find out what sari she's wearing, what sari am I going to wear. Like we do it in the churches also. We go there with our best dresses, just watching what dress she has worn. Then we come out of the church, directly we ask a question, where did you get this one? You see? So the whole attention is on a social contact, a social mass feeling within ourselves. So we are not individuals at all at that time, not at all. First we have to be absolute individuals. And then you become a complete, aware part of the whole. But if you are not an individual, say that's why people who belong to these sects or belong to some sort of a commitment or to an organized place, they find it difficult. Because they are not yet prepared to accept that individual jump into the whole. If the whole of it comes, well and good. If the whole doesn't come, they are sticking on to it. Though it can be very superficial also. Like you see in England is a custom to put the fork and spoon in a particular way. In France it is different. In somewhere it is different. Now even that can be a club forming stuff for us. Because you see, we are Americans, will put it this way, we are English, we'll put it this way, if you are French, we'll put it this way. But it is such a superficial sort of a thing. And if you go into it, it's all superficial. All our clubbing is superficial. Now, if you start getting after it and reacting against it, then you are destroying yourself. You are completely destroyed. There is no need to destroy anything like that. But to be understanding that this is superficial. Nothing, you should not waste your energy in fighting any one of these. There is no need to fight anything to get out of it. There is no need to fight any such thing. What happens that by fighting, you lose your energy for nothing at all. On the contrary, you should understand that all these things are artificial and you should wait for a moment when you get the reality. But if you fight them also, there's a problem. If you don't fight them and you become one, there's a problem. So both things are energy sapping. We go on thinking about it. Where do we reach? We reach nowhere. So Sahaja Yoga is a system which is the system of the nature. It is not a system of human beings which is artificial or an organization or a mass movement, nothing of the kind. It is the system of the nature itself which has made you a human being, an individual, now like an egg. Now this individual has to become not the mass, which is an animal instinct, but to become collectively conscious. Has to become. Is a consciousness. Means on the central nervous system you feel that consciousness. And that is what is the reality. We go about into anything understanding that this is right, that is right, is all mental. If you understand everything, whatever is mentally available, you are still in the shell. But what you feel is the point. What you feel on your central nervous system is your real consciousness. The rest of it is your mental activities, imagination, and whatever is mental is man-made. It has no meaning. Like we have written books after books, I don't know how many energies have been wasted in doing all sorts of things. Books after books have written about this, that, all kinds of yarns and yarns of, I should say, imaginary wanderings about things. But that's not the thing, you see. It's within yourself. That's within yourself. Your own spirit resides there in your heart. Is your own power which you should get. And if you can feel that power, then you will be amazed that you don't have to have any United Nations organization and all that. You really enter into the kingdom of God in the sense that you get that power of love, which makes you extremely loving, sweet, I should say magnetic, extremely gentle, and also could be very powerful if it comes to use of power. It's extremely powerful. In your behavior, you become an extremely attractive person in the sense that you do not give trouble to others. You do not, on the contrary, you are a troubleshooter, I should say. You are a person who is a peacemaker. Wherever you stand, you create peace and happiness. But this is still outward. Inside, you are so tranquil and blissful. And the highest above is that you are so connected that even verbally, if you ask any question, is there God? You start getting great vibrations. The rapport is established. You can see the rapport is now established. You can talk to God. It's easy to say that there is no God. It's very good because then we have no headaches, people think. But all the headaches come because of this kind of a belief also that there is no God. And also there will be headaches if you believe that there is God without knowing. Both things, according to me, are still the two sides of a pendulum. It is not in the center. Or we can say, this is how we go to the right and to the left, but do not ascend. For the ascent, this actual thing, this living thing, this germination has to take place. And that is why Sahaja Yoga transcends all these nonsensical sects. Absolutely. It has no respect for them. It has no respect because it saps the energy of human beings. It puts them down. It doesn't give them chance to rise to their own power which is within themselves. But with understanding that after all human beings are ignorant about it, they are not very sure. It's all right if they are involved with any other such things, doesn't matter. But in a sect, if you go, I was surprised, I went to a Unity Church, imagine, Unity Church in Houston. They were kind enough to invite me there, and they didn't know how outspoken I was about things, you see. Poor things were in for trouble, I think, after my coming. But whatever it is, I was surprised. They were selling all kinds of books there, all kinds, which are satanic, which are mass movements, which are very detrimental to human beings. And they knew they were. Like in a church, they were selling books of a man who is teaching licentiousness, permissiveness. Can you imagine? Such contradictory thing. I mean, either Christ was wrong or this man was wrong. How can you have both the things together? And they were saying this is unity. This is not unity. This is not unity. This is such a superficial unity of getting all the dust, filth, everything together and gold with it and say, now you have it. Do you put in your food the poison and then eat it because you want to unite it? You can only unite things which can be united. You cannot unite all the mess of the world together and say this is unity. You cannot unite Christ with a man who is teaching licentiousness, permissiveness, and all kinds of dirty tricks. So one has to understand the mind plays a very big trick in this. That the mind itself is a very, very tricky thing. It's a very intelligent thing. It beats you there. And you start understanding, oh, let it be, doesn't matter. You start compromising. How can there be compromise between the food and the poison? Can you have strychnine with food? Simple thing as that. We have to separate. We have to say, this is wrong, this is right. Whether people like it or not, if we have to respect human life, if you have to respect this great creation of God, if you have to see that they get what that is promised to them, are we going to play with their lives, with their body, with everything? Like there are some people who believe that drugs can take you to God. I mean, just imagine the absurdity of it. Now, thank God people know that drugs harm your attention, harm your awareness. There was a book written, I was told, I met somebody in Vancouver who's got a PhD by a book which was written about, I'm forgetting the name of the gentleman, who has described that the alcohol takes you to spiritual life. And I say absurd. The thing that goes against your awareness itself, how can it take you to awareness which is enlightened? It would be something like, cover this light, break all the bulbs, everything, and that will take you to light. It is absolutely absurd. The whole statement is absurd. You cannot go to God if you try to harm your body, harm your mind, harm yourself. Even a person who has had a bad childhood, who is suffered because of something, say war or something. Even such a person is little less blessed. In the beginning, we have to work on him to put his mind at rest, to put his body at rest, to see that there is equilibrium within him, and then only he can get realization. Anybody who is a disturbed man, who is upset, we have to put it right. Now, some people have definitely felt that drugs are going to solve the problem. Honestly, they have felt it. I know they have been very honest about it. They have taken drugs, doesn't matter. That also can be neutralized. Because you are seekers, you have just done that because you are seeking. Is that the main thing is that you must seek and that you must get it. Is the main object of Sahaja Yoga, that is your. So whatever may come, whatever may have happened, doesn't matter. It's going to be corrected, it's going to work out. And then overnight people give up because they realize that this is it. All problems of humanity are because we have not yet found out our spirit, which is a collective being. All international problems, all your political problems, all your economic problems come from that one thing which has not happened to human being. You are still in transition. I would say it would be something like people who are still in the water getting halfway up and halfway down. They don't know whether we are going to be saved or not. But once we have reached the shores, that's all right. That's it. Reach the shores. That's all right. That's a little breakthrough that has to take place, and people have to establish their collective consciousness. So there are many who get realization. You see, many come here, they get their realization, then disappear. I've seen. They feel very happy, everything done now. Nothing. You have to become collectively conscious after that. Means you have to educate yourself to understand how to feel that collectivity within yourself. That is more important, more difficult for human beings. Because they are all like, a quick happening, a very quick happening. And the quick happening takes place, no doubt. But that quick happening is just taking you to a point where you have to stay. You have to become. If becoming is a thing, like an egg breaks into a nice little bird, but the bird must learn to fly. If it does not educate itself to fly, it remains something in between egg and bird, and anybody can eat that off. It has no quality as a bird which can save itself, protect itself, and can fly and enjoy. It has no quality of a bird if it is just roaming about like cock and hens. You see, when they were in the forest, they used to fly. I have seen these forest ones flying very high. They can fly just like a eagle. But if you see them on the ground, if they are settled down on the ground, they are eaten up by people who can catch them. Anybody can catch them. So to have that quality, to quality of that collective being, one has to educate and rise above that shell system, that system that has bound them, that has made them an individual, which was important to have a shell for you. The individuality was very, very important, otherwise you would not have been mature. So that a time comes that shell must be broken. Like now, the car is important for me to bring down here, but I have to leave the car to come down inside. In the same way, you have reached a certain stage that up to that point it was all right, but you don't have to carry it on any further, and you have to settle down with a new dimension, a new life within you. And that's what is your second birth. For this, God has placed everything within ourselves. You see that a system. Did anybody speak about Kundalini? You should have. All right, doesn't matter. Now, you see, every time I don't want to report about Kundalini and all that. And there is a system within us called the Kundalini. All is within us. Now, it is very easy to sit down and say, now, Mother, how do you say it is so? I mean, it's good, you see, because people want to know about it. How is it? We have the Kundalini in the triangular bone. And then we say that there are subtle centers which look after, which manifest outside our gross centers and all these things. We do talk about it. But you can all doubt that saying, how can there be such a thing? How are we to believe you? But why not? Because I'm not taking any money from you. Nothing. By believing me, what is your losses? Nothing. Now the people who are here, you should see and ask them, their lives are all changed. They have become different people. They are enjoying themselves. They have got their own powers. They can manifest them. They have become experts. They look so simple, just like you. But if you see their faces, you'll see how blooming they are. Apart from that they know all about it. They are masters and scholars, and they are great gurus sitting down here around you, and you can also become that. So there's nothing to doubt. But now supposing you are a doubting Thomas, you see, you will doubt. I don't mind. If you doubt also, we'll try to solve the doubt. The main thing is of making you the spirit. That's our job. For that we are here, and you are also for that. So it is better to cooperate with us than to argue and discuss and spoil everybody's attention. You see, some people are such reactionaries. They come, ask questions, and when it comes to realization, they just run away. Mostly we have seen such people who sit down with a very doubting mind all the time. But for what are you doubting? What are you going to lose? What are you going to lose here? Nothing. If you have a cancer, you can be cured. If you have mental problems, they can be cured. All the problems can be cured as a blessing of God. It's true. And apart from that, you become your own power. But if it is a mass system, we don't doubt. You see, so for example, we go to church, we don't doubt. We don't doubt. We don't doubt the priest, we don't doubt anybody. We go to a temple, we never doubt the priest. We just pay as everybody's paying. It's a mass system. Where it is not. Here you are an individual. That's why you doubt. You are an individual now and you doubt. But I would suggest that better to have your realization than to waste your energy in doubting. Because if you are all seekers, we are going to get your realization, if not today, tomorrow. But only thing, why delay? Sooner, the better. But if you have any questions, I would like to answer them. We have all this Kundalini and all that, and I wish Kevin had told you about it, or somebody should have told you. Next time, we'll have a lecture about Kundalini, what it is, how it gives realization, how it rises, how it pierces through different chakras, pierces through your fontanelle bone area, and also how it gives you these Chaitanya Laharis, what we call as the cool breeze in the hand, cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. And that's what you have to see. Now, if you have any questions, you may ask, because when you are getting realization, I want you to be free.
Mahamantras. Thank you, Shimataji, for blessing us with this collective morning meditation. Thank you very much. Let's bow down to Shimataji and take Bandhan. We will continue our morning meditation tomorrow, same time. जय श्री माता।